What is up guys, it's Swolheim here, back with another Wrath of the Lich King Classic video. Today we are doing another class review video in regards to gold making and talking about that class and how good it is when it comes to farming gold or just making gold in general. Different classes have different strengths. Mages can sell food, water and portals. Mages are also very good at AoE farming. Protection paladins are also good at AoE farming. Hunters and warlocks can use their pets and demons as tanks, and solo difficult elites for incredible loot. And druids, well, druids are just awesome and can do just about everything. So if you didn't catch on already, or for some reason ignored both the title and the thumbnail, today we are talking about druids and specifically why druids are good for farming gold in Wrath of the Lich King. Let's start by talking about the different specs. As a druid you have 4 different specs, 3 of which are highly relevant for gold farming, and even the 4th one can actually be quite relevant. Let's break it down. Balanced druids excel at AoE farming. Their AoE damage has been significantly buffed in Wrath of the Lich King, and by the end of the expansion you can quite literally pull any amount of mobs that you want, then just pop 1 starfall and they all die. This makes balanced druids incredible at specific gold farms where you have the entire place to yourself, so you can tag all of the mobs around you and kite them around until you pull the entire area, then you clear them out with 1 starfall. You can even force a dynamic respawn effect as a boomkin if you are farming in the correct area, and you don't have any competition as some mobs that are tied to quests will have a force spawn mechanic to them. The one negative thing for boomkins is that even though mana issue or mana usage has been lowered in Wrath, making mana issues less of an actual issue, you will sometimes go out of mana while farming, so you will need to spend some time actually drinking to regain your mana, which means there will be some downtime from time to time, which can be quite annoying over time. Feral druids excel at single target farming and chain pool farming. It is incredible for highly contested areas, as you can tag mobs with Moonfire while in feral form, then nuke down that mob as fast as possible. You can also do some multi-tagging as a feral. It is not like they are terrible at AoE, but you can't pull 20 mobs and then down them all with 1 starfall, like a boomkin can, so you're more restricted to doing smaller pulls, preferably 1 by 1 or 2 by 2. Feral druids' damage is boosted by quite a bit in Wrath compared to TBC, making them even better for farming, and one of the main reasons that I personally like feral druids is because there's legitimately 0 downtime while farming. You can keep chain pulling 24/7 without any breaks, no food, no water, no anything. You use energy as a resource, which means no mana breaks are needed, and by using Omen of Clarity, you can sometimes get a free heal to heal yourself, which is usually enough to keep yourself fully topped off. If you're looking for examples of where to farm gold as both a balanced druid or a feral druid, I have a lot of different gold farms listed in my Wrath of the Lich King Gold Guide, which you can find a link to in the video description, where you will find multiple different gold farms suitable both for single target and AoE farming, as well as many other ways of making gold in Wrath. And if you're thinking of picking up that guide, you can also use the code Swolheim to get it for 50% off, and as a little bit of extra information, once you purchase the guide, you will receive all of the future updates for free, always keeping you up to date with the best and most relevant gold making information. Keeping up with druid specs, let's talk about feral tanks, aka the bear. Druid bears are actually quite good for farming gold as well. You can think of them as kind of a hybrid between feral DPS and boomkin, with kind of increased survivability. You can pull a lot of mobs and still survive, and slowly AoE them down over time. That being said though, for open world farming I would still recommend both feral DPS and boomkin over feral tank spec, but you can also go with a hybrid feral spec suitable both for cat form and bear form, so you can switch in between the two. The real gold making method though for druid tanks is that you can sell dungeon tanking services in normal dungeons or even heroic dungeons, in which case you could also reserve unwanted items for additional gold. Druid tanks can also sell specific boosting services, but whether or not that will actually be a viable strategy in Wrath Classic, we will have to wait and see, as I have heard rumors they might be doing something to combat in-game boosting. Lastly, we have Restoration Druids, and I wasn't actually going to mention this spec at all, because you don't really farm gold in Resto spec, but you can sell healing services just like tanking services, giving Restoration Druids at least one way of making gold. So far we have found out that Druids are incredible both for single target chain pool farming and AoE farming, utilizing different specs for different farming methods. One more thing that makes Druids incredible is their flight form, and in Wrath of the Lich King you can even use your flight form a little bit more effectively, allowing you to pick up herbs without even going out of flight form, and by using your flight form you can actually get access to certain herb spawns that other people won't get to without fighting mobs, plus it saves you the time of dismounting and remounting. It really just feels awesome as you can fly around and gather things, and specifically for herbalism, you don't even have to worry about dismounting and remounting. All you do is look for flowers and pick them up, and you are good to go. Herbalism is also absolutely incredible for farming gold in Wrath of the Lich King, especially early on when everyone will be spending huge amounts of gold on their Darkmoon Card Greatness trinkets, which requires a hefty amount of materials, which all comes from herbalism. So Druids with herbalism will make an absolute fortune in phase 1 of Wrath Classic, that's for sure. One more thing that makes the Druids even more versatile is how they can farm gold. Is that they also have access to Prowl in their cat form, allowing them to do stealth farms on the same level as a rogue. Stealth farming was a huge thing in TBC Classic, and it's actually still a thing in Wrath of the Lich King as well, but probably to a much smaller degree. For example, there are mining veins available in Halls of Stone, as well as 2 frozen herbs inside the Nexus in the garden itself, but I'm not sure if it's enough spawns inside one dungeon to actually make it a viable strategy, unless you are already doing that dungeon for other gold making reasons. Either way, if dungeon farming becomes a thing, at least now you know that Druids can do it, and this just makes them even better for gold farming in general. And that is why I love Druids for gold farming. They are incredible at just about everything, and it's not a one-trick pony. You can solo farm and effectively chain pull mobs as a feral DPS, you can do huge AoE pulls with Starfall as a boomkin, you can do huge pulls with a slow burn effect as a Druid tank, and you can also sell tanking services and boost runs. You are also one of the best classes for herbalism and mining, as you can skip the amount of time by utilizing your flight form, and if you happen to aggro a mob while picking up a flower, or trying to grab a mining vein, you can simply kite that mob a couple yards back, root it in place, and then go and grab the objective, while most other classes would have to actually fight that mob before grabbing what they came there for. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you click that like button for me, and let me know in the comments down below which class and professions you are going to go for on your gold farming character. Also, remember to click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future Wrath of the Lich King videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.